Hey, Trump, you need to bring the National Guards to Chicago, man. You got kids killing kids, man. That's not good, man. Washington, D.C. is not much going on compared to Chicago, man. I'm running. It's a war happening right now in Chicago, man. Hey, look, man. Look, go on the news, or go on Google, type Chicago. I'm going back home to Africa, man. I can't. Too much going on, man. In Chicago, man. Real.
Said he going back to Africa. He ain't rocking with Chirac, as they call it. Now, this ain't think tank, right? It's a man on the ground saying kids are killing kids. The plea is obviously raw. Bring the guard, he says. Now, you got everyday Chicagoans starting to beg for troops, and that tell me a lot. And then when everything feels this chaotic, it reminds me of how important it is to guard yourself.
All right, I'm going to let me finish in a minute, but real quick, aren't you tired of getting these spam calls and text messages? Do you even know why you're getting them? Sit tight. I'll explain. You see, what's happening is these big tech companies, they're not doing a good job of keeping our data safe. They're not even trying, like literally. Recently, Bank of America had a breach where a vendor mishandled documents exposing customer data like social security numbers. And the reason why you ain't hear about this is because they feel like they don't need to inform you. They going to inform you months later when they feel like it. We all know in that data, it includes full names, addresses, email addresses, credit card info, which basically makes them you. And I don't want nobody being me. I like me. This is why I have to bring today's sponsor to your attention. Aura.com. You see, Aura alerts me anytime my data is breached, giving me fast fraud alerts and removes my info from data broker websites to cut down on that spam. Aura also allows transaction monitoring, VPN, antivirus protection, you got parental controls, identity theft insurance, and it's all in one affordable app. So listen, if my info was ever compromised to any effect, I wouldn't even worry because I know I got Aura in the background keeping me safe all day. This is why I would feel guilty if I just sit here and allow you and your family to go unprotected, man. No. So in order to ensure that protection, head over to aura.com/kingdomreacts right now. Get your first 2 weeks on your boy. You know what I'm saying? And don't worry, I have a link available for you in the description. See you there.
All right, now back to Chicago, because that wasn't a one-off voice right there. The calls kept coming, and they sound just as desperate.
So we got Donald Trump saying today that he gonna send the what'd he say? He gonna send the army basically to Chicago like he did DC. You know what I'm saying? He say it's gonna stop the crime rate. You know, the crime rate wasn't a murder in D.C. in 11 days or nothing like that going on, right? So the Democrats come and saying, wait, from Chicago, and I'm a Democrat. Let me go ahead and say that. But they come in, what is it? The fucking governor and the mayor. You know what I'm saying? They comes out and say Chicago was the safest since 1964. Chicago is. And I'm just looking like, and I'm from Chicago. Let's go ahead and keep that in mind. I'm definitely from Chicago, East Side landlord. You know what I'm saying? Jeffrey Manor. Man, listen, the streets ain't safe. What you mean? That's one thing I can't agree with the Democrats on. The streets is not safe. Mm-hmm. You got these little ones running around with Dracos and drums and, you know what I'm saying? Like having they way Hellcats, they flying masks, they got the Nike Techs on. You know what I'm saying? They doing anything they want. They robbing old people for cars and they doing all type of stuff. It's almost like a Grand Theft Auto, but in real life. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got big drums and big Dracos. I don't know where these pipes coming from. First off, let's go ahead and start there. But ain't nobody gonna say the NRA, but they everywhere. This motherfucker like a look. Afghanistan. No, I think he do need to bring the troops through. Yeah, the troops need to come through because we ain't understanding nothing as people. We're not understanding nothing in Chicago. You know what I'm saying? Like we want to keep moving the same way. Nah, bring them National Guards down there, G. And see if niggas want to slab with Dracos and drums and see if they want to do that. I know I ain't want to, you know what I'm saying? I'm staying out the way. But I'm just saying, G, I'm definitely a Democrat, man. I don't ride with the Republicans, man, at all, man. But some stuff, man, you can't just come out and say Chicago is the safest place ever when Mellow Bucks party look, it's mass shootings. The mass shootings in Chicago should be up. facts. Nigga, what is you talking about? The safest? No, man, I can't agree with that, man. Y'all get in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. And I'm a Democrat once again. Let me know what y'all think. If I'm wrong, and share this video, man.
I know
Facts.
he's from Chicago, and by how many times he said G. Me and all my cousins, we all, yeah. Anywho, he literally says, I'm a Democrat, but then he admits he feels like Grand Theft Auto in real life when it comes to Chicago. Now, when people are scared, party loyalty doesn't matter at all. It's a survival call. And that can scare politicians who think they had the city locked in.
We are not thinking about Pritzker or Brandon Johnson. We just had 4 mass shootings in the span of 1 month. 14 people got shot and 4 dead. We just had senior citizens laying shot, bleeding in the streets. And let's not forget the gentleman who we saw, who was on Facebook Live, get robbed and shot while he was sitting in his car. So we don't care about anything these people are saying. Tell Brandon Johnson and Pritzker, if Chicago is so safe, with Brandon Johnson especially, let's leave his 150 police detail. Fire them and walk around with no police detail. And Pritzker, no security. Come in my community, the south side of Chicago. Come over there and let's see you say how safe it is. You can't even sit in your car long. If you sit in your car, you know that it's a chance you're going to get carjacked, robbed, or shot. So tell him to come around in my neck of the woods and talk that.
I know that's right. Shout out to Danielle Carter, man. Seeing her progresses as much as she has in the political space is amazing. I definitely got to shoot her a text of gratitude for sure. Y'all remember she ended up coming on the show a while back, and ever since then, man, she's been a shed of light for the truth. And she isn't sugarcoating it. You know, 4 mass shootings in 1 month, seniors bleeding in the streets, people being robbed live on Facebook. I've seen it. Her frustration is boiling over. And her dare, if it's safe, ditch the 150 officer detail that you have and walk through the south side like everybody else. And then come back to the podium if you make it and tell them that. That kind of challenge cuts deeper than any statistic. And that's the same thing. Reality on the streets versus the numbers being reported. Watch how this next Chicagoan lays it out.
Our children can't walk around the community without fear of being hurt or kidnapped or having a drive-by. So it's what these numbers that they're expressing, we don't feel it in our quality of life. Our children can't walk around the community without fear of being...
Boom. This is what it looks like when the official numbers don't match live reality. Judaiah, how you say this? Judaiah? Jedediah? Jay Brown, we're just going to go with that. My guy Jay Brown is telling, you kids can't walk around without fear of being kidnapped or shot. A city isn't safe if parents won't even let the children step outside without praying they come back. Meanwhile, on national TV, MSNBC, okay, I'm going to say it right, MSNBC, tried to pin the mayor down with the same question everyone else is asking. And I want you to look at how it went.
I'm curious, would you also like to get federal funding to help put 5,000 more cops on the street in Chicago? Would that help drive down crime?
Well, look, policing by itself is not the full strategy.
No, I understand that. You've talked about the other things you want, and I said those are good and important programs, but I'm asking also, would 5,000 more police officers on the street in Chicago be helpful to go along with all of those social programs that a lot of cities are engaging in and having success with?
Well, look, here's the best way I can put it, Joe, is that in the 90s when I was in high school, we had 3,000 more police officers and we had 900 people being murdered every single year in Chicago. It's just not policing alone. Of course, we want more detectives.
I know it's not policing alone, but I know it's not policing alone. You've told me everything else you want. I'm curious, and this does come down to an ideological difference between people. Do you believe that the streets of Chicago would be safer if there were more uniformed police officers on the streets of Chicago?
Yes or no?
I believe the city of Chicago and cities across America would be safer if we actually had, affordable housing. Look,
Okay,
I'm not saying that
that's
we
not
don't.
the question I asked. My question is, and I just need a yes or a no, do you believe the streets of Chicago would be safer if you got all of those other extraordinary programs put back into place, which do have a history of being successful, if that's complemented by having 5,000 more cops on the streets of Chicago?
I don't believe that we should narrow it down to just police officers, Joe, is what I'm saying. That is an antiquated approach. I'm saying we've invested in detectives.
Mr. Mayor, are you hearing what I'm saying? I'm agreeing with you that all of these other social programs are extraordinarily important. I just need a yes or a no, and then this will be the last time I ask. If you get all of those other social programs that 800 million that New York City does, Los Angeles, other people do with great success, would an additional 5,000 cops on the streets in Chicago help complement those programs to make Chicago safer?
Yeah, or nay?
Look, we are working hard to make sure that our police department is fully supported. I don't believe that just simply putting out an arbitrary number around police officers is the answer.
Thank gosh this clip was over, because, boy, I was over here going through it. I'm serious. I'm over here. I'm about to turn me Democrat. Scarborough, who is a Democrat, asks one of the simplest questions you can ask a mayor. Would more officers help? Literally. With having more people. Calm down. And I'll just say that Johnson can give you a yes or no. Leaders can't debate philosophy all day, but when you dodge straight questions, it looks like you're avoiding the obvious, and people see that. And after that, Johnson doubled down at his own press conference. I want you to listen carefully to how this man decided to frame it, young.
The federal government should spend that money on proven solutions to crime and violence reduction. We cannot incarcerate our way out of violence. We've already tried that, and we've ended up with the largest prison population in the world without solving the problems of crime and violence. The addiction on jails and incarceration in this country, we have moved past that. It is racist, it is immoral, it is unholy, and it is not the way to drive violence down. We cannot return to the same failed strategies that got us here in the first place. Under the previous presidential administration, we requested more federal resources to address gun violence in our city. We continue to make that same call. We have made significant progress on our own, but there is so much more that we can do if we had real support from the federal government. Our communities need more federal resources. Trying to give you some support. For public safety. There's no question about that. But unsolicited, unwarranted military takeover is not needed.
Johnson says mass incarceration has failed and that locking people up is racist and immoral. But here's the tension. Residents are screaming for immediate order while leadership is pushing long-term programs. Both sides want solutions, but one is talking about tomorrow while the other is begging for protection tonight. Sheesh. While the mayor was defending his philosophy, the governor was outside Trump Tower, turn it into a punchline, if you will.
We're very pleased about the progress that we're making. I know that I live rent-free in the president's head, and I wish he would spend some time in Chicago so that he could see what a lovely city we have.
Who put that music there?
We're very pleased about
Was that the what was those called? The ravioli? Was that the ravioli? Oh man, Governor Pritzker. He cracking jokes about living rent-free in Trump's head outside of Trump Tower. Oh man, the meme edit is super funny. Hold on. Was that the bathroom at the end? Hold on. Oh, the office. Yeah, the meme edit is funny, but for families ducking bullets, it comes off tone deaf. I know I just got me off a laugh, but for the people that's in there, it's pretty hard to laugh who live there rather. It's pretty hard to laugh when your neighborhood feels like a war zone. And the last clip takes us back inside. Press room, no edits, no memes. I want y'all to watch this exchange.
Racist. Mayor Johnson.
Yeah.
Please turn the mic on. Thank you. Real Chicagoans woke up this morning relieved that the Department of Justice is finally investigating your race hustle. As someone who grew up on the south side of Chicago, I've heard a lot of race hustlers in my life, trust me, but they were usually marching around outside of City Hall, which is what makes this so embarrassing and dangerous. For over a year, real Chicagoans, white and black, have been telling me that your black power rhetoric is bringing the city backwards from a place that
we need the question
had overcome. You want the question?
Please.
Real Chicagoans want to know, why are you a racist?
First of all, I reject the idea and the premise that somehow that's an actual legitimate question.
You want that?
All right, we're going to go to the next one. Alice?
The next question, my follow-up question is a businessman, Robert Gomez, had his riverfront restaurant license yanked. You said that the reason you hire black people is because they're the most generous race on the planet. His riverfront restaurant license was yanked and given to a black restaurateur. That has, once again, reinforced the belief among real Chicagoans, white and black and Mexican, that you are a racist. What do you say to those people?
Again, I reject the premise that somehow that your question has any legitimacy. Thank you for your time, sir.
Thank you. We'll go to Alice.
Thank you. The number one employer of our people is our people. What I'm saying is, when you hire our people, we always look out for everybody else. We are the most generous people on the planet. The deputy mayor is a black woman. Department of Planning and Development is a black woman. Infrastructure deputy mayor is a black woman. Chief operations officer is a black man. Budget director is a black woman. Senior advisor is a black man. One thing that I know for sure that I have to do over these next 2 years, every single dime that our people have been robbed of, I want to make sure that that is returned 2-3-fold. We have 6 developers that have received the first $30 million for investment. 6 developers. Of those 6 developers, 5 of them are black and 3 are women. BOA Construction received the prime construction contract at O'Hare under my administration. It's the first black prime construction worker company to have a prime contract anywhere in the United States of America.
Yeah, when a reporter flat out asks you if your rhetoric is dividing the city, that's your moment to lead with confidence. Instead, Johnson brushed it off and pivoted away. At a time when people needed reassurance. More deflection only feeds the sense that no one in power is listening. So you got Chicagoans literally out here saying, bring the guard. If leaders cannot give them straight answers, expect more locals to break ranks. Let me see what I want y'all to say. If you made it to the end of this video, put deflection in the comment section. If you ain't subscribed, make sure you go ahead and do that. Other than that, y'all be safe. Go check on a friend today. You can quite literally be saving their life. Peace.